Good morning, traders. Woo! So I was in H's chat this morning, NQ just dying. Just dying. No surprise there. Oh, wait a minute. HYMC. This is their losses widened, revenue dropped. We know they pulled. Right there, they pulled 5,000 something ounces of gold and 17,000 ounces of silver. So they may be reporting lower revenue drops and all that, but HYMC shooting up to $2 finally. That's why this has been on my list for a long time, and now it's starting to get active on this daily chart, almost breaking the 200-day moving average. So, oh, my date is wrong on this. Hold on a second, guys. Let me fix a few things. I'm being stupid. I put the wrong date in on the streams like an idiot. Let's see here. Oh, I did the right one on Twitch. Just did the wrong one on YouTube. Okay. Anyway. All right. Nice to see HYMC pushing. Let's find out. Let's take a look at the markets on TradingView real quick, just so I can get a quick overview of everything. Let's see. Bitcoin down to 37. Bitcoin had a nice push to 40,000. Got rejected. Ethereum, same thing. Got rejected. Gold under 19 still. What's it doing? Tried to shoot up there, but having a pullback. Silver trying to bounce off of that trend line at 22. We possibly could see silver crack and come down to 20. At this point, with them raising rates, everything that's going on, like I've been saying, I think we're already in a recession. And a while back, I was talking about, I thought that we may be in stagflation, and that's what it's looking like. That's why nothing is running. Stagflation is the worst possible thing to have for an economy, especially trading in the stock market. We do have oil that finally broke that downtrend, but shot up there at about, 111 and dropped back down $4. So just nasty volatility in the markets right now. All right. Everything looks about the same as it was, just a little bit redder than yesterday. So let's just look around here, see if we have any trades we can make. I do want to keep an eye on HYMC. A little uptrend, something like that. And then that would probably be your top. Let's see, SOUN. Let's take this little box off here. I don't want to touch anything that's up that high. Apron giving it all up. Taking that off. OST, that giving it all up. Forge continued to run up to 34, but looking like a dead flat top right there. So that's probably going to pull back. I'm going to take it off the watch list. VTNR. This is an energy company. Beautiful cup and handle, though, on this daily. Very close to trying to break it. 1050. Yeah, it's holding above. 1050 is right here. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful line of support at 10. Trying to hold today. This previous peak. Both peaks. And then back here where we were getting rejected, coming back up, pulling back, and now we're above that. So this is definitely one to continue to keep on watch. As long as, that's the way they can get off here. Everything doesn't go too crazy. So we do have BLTE, which was a nice little ripper yesterday. but looking pretty extended up here. It's probably going to pull back. I don't like the way that looks either. LTBR, wow, that had a gap up to 850 in pre-market, but if you've been following HH Trader, and he's been talking about these nuclear stocks, you had plenty of opportunity to get in down there at that 630, 650 area off that bounce. You'd be up $1 already. Maybe even more if you could have caught that sell in pre-market. But that looks like that was just like one sell. So, uranium. Let's see. How's Uroi doing? Because I am in agreement with HH about everything he's putting out about uranium right now. I think uranium. Let's see. What is this? U.S. Energy Secretary tells Senate why we should not be sending money to Russia. Okay. Ooh, hold on a second. Uranium royalty buys added royalty on Lance Uranium Project in Wyoming. So this Uroi is a royalty company for uranium projects, and they're buying. They're buying whole projects. Let's see. In 2022, uranium prices projected to reach multi-year highs as nuclear interests may be back on the table. Look at that. H was ahead of this. He's ahead of the headlines, everything on uranium. Shout out to HH on this whole uranium information he is researching and putting out. He is on top of it. What's up, stonks and chumps? Let's see. We got BTTX. I saw he was playing this. Is this I thought this was a crypto play. Oh, this is a therapeutics play. Above the 50-day, 23 million shares, got strong resistance. Well, it was resistance, now support. Very strong support at 225. Only problem is, we're way off the beginning of this trend line. But it's testing 3. I'm going to keep that on watch. I don't like it's there. Well, I don't know. Let's see. We'll keep it on watch, but I really don't like it. CYN, that's another one he's been talking about. That one popped up today. Nice run from $3 to $4. I can keep that on watch. ICPT. What have they got here? Except shares deal after Okalaba and PBC in markets outside of the U.S. Agreement. Let's see. What is... Okay, right here. Announces Advance Pharma to acquire Alcavli. Oh, okay. They're acquiring a company. Okay. I actually don't mind this. It's above the 200-day. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well for a few minutes here. I don't like that. That's way up here. Tried to get up to 10 and got rejected. And it's probably going to have to pull back some. Let's see. Mid floats. Okay, which why I'm seeing that. NKLA. This is a EV stock, I'm pretty sure. If I remember. Yeah. EV trucks. And that's what it is. So starting to see a little bit of EV plays move, which makes sense if oil's going to be moving up. Yeah, Marathon Oil moving up there. I think today, that was halted, but just put out some earnings. That's all that is. More earnings. Don't like that. Don't like that. JCSE. This is interesting. It's been on a uptrend for the past 4 days. Very little volume at the moment. Only 278,000 in volume And that's about what it's been getting, just barely any volume, but uptrending. Somebody's buying this slowly. So we just got HYMC as the main metal mover. Well, we got a couple of things up. Let's see how HUSA, MARPS, and INDO are doing for oil. Even though oil had that pullback, there's a lot of volatility. It could bounce possibly right back up. Oh, look at that. HUSA just died down. Breaking that trend line. Let me look at oil real quick. Let's take that little line off. We had oil finally break that triangle. Oh, actually, hold on a second. I'm doing my line completely wrong. I should be doing it from back here. Let's just start it right here. So there's the most recent bottom trend line on the oil futures, and then your top of this trend line would be about right there. So if we continue to push, we may see it back up to 125. Natural gas falls after above forecast storage rise. Yeah, natural gas is a lot easier to get out of the ground than oil is. Because it's air. You know, it's gas. You just got to capture the gas. Usually don't have to dig that far for those type of elements. Whereas oil, you might have to dig like super far down in the ground to even get to it. Shoo! Look at that market watch. It's so bright red it hurt my eyes. So the NQ is just trying to hold that same support area of 13. Well, actually, it's barely holding it. It's actually dipped below it twice. Oh, hold on a second now. Hold on a second. Did we just throw a wick down? Let's see something here. Ooh. Ooh, so today we threw 2 wicks down lower than this previous little... what's the word for a reverse peak? I'm just going to say a reverse peak. This little reverse peak here, that's not a good sign at all. It is trying to rebound, but after this big sell-off, I don't think it will. Yeah, 1,000-point plunge. I don't know. It's hard to say. Everything's so volatile right now. And if we look at the daily chart on the NQ, we can extend this box that we have here on across here, because that's that area. That's the area we're in. We're just still in this consolidation box, but that little wick under it, and then today's little wick's kind of poking below it too. That's real sketchy. We are very close. Remember yesterday I was talking about the head and shoulders pattern. That's what this is. Alright, anyway, let's try to find something to trade. But I ain't going to force anything. But there's a couple of things. Oil is barely moving right now. But you got Hussa in the same type of little... Whoops. Oh, I can adjust it. The same type of little uptrend channel. Well, it broke it actually. Just wondering if that was too hard of a pullback on these oil stocks. I'm tempted to... Yeah, because what did that drop? Almost $1 drop on Hussa. That little bounce there, that was a bounce from 19. That was a whole dollar bounce on INDO that just happened. I'm going on INDO. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking at this hour chart. We got rejected up here, but the 10-day crossed the 200 on this 1 hour chart. And where we dropped in that buy that we just had, we're getting bought back up, pushing up so far, almost halfway to this drop. So there's major resistance, of course, at $20, but we're right at $20 testing right now. Then same thing on this daily chart. Day is trying to cross back to the upside. I'm going to switch this chart to the oil chart so I can keep an eye on it, just because everything is so volatile. That big pullback in oil. Look at that beautiful pattern on oil though. Yeah, on the daily chart, oil is bullish. It had those couple of days of bouncing off of the trend line, but now 10 days pointing up. 50-day, if the price can just push a little bit over this peak, you know, we're testing that 110 resistance, which 110 previously on oil was very, very strong. So that's why I got that hard rejection at 110. But you know, we're only $1.40 away from coming back up and retesting that. I'm gonna stick right where I'm at for the moment, and we'll fill it out from there. Good morning, Lori Lee. It's up to you guys over there on Twitch. I do have the Twitch chat open too, so you can holler at me if you have any questions. Ooh, I'm tempted to add more. I kind of want to see if it's going to pull back a little bit. Because even the downtrend, if you was to draw the downtrend on that daily has cracked on oil. So oil is now out of that consolidation. It's starting to look a bit bullish. Let's see. Oh yeah, pre-market 18. That bounced right off the pre-market low. This was easy money. I wish I would have saw that a minute ago. Look at that. $19 was support all through pre-market, all through after hours. Yesterday it was resistance. So this little drop down to 19 right there, that was an easy entry. So we're at 1950. Got a much rather got it down there at 19, but that's okay. I'm in at 1980. I can average it down a little bit if I need to. And I might. Let's see here. I could be wrong about this. You know, the markets are so volatile right now. Oil could all of a sudden turn around and just start dumping again. But even there, on the 15-minute chart, you can see where that downtrend of selling broke. We got 5 minutes on this 15-minute candle. I want to see it come up and try to test 20 again before this candle closes. NQ looks like it's failing to hold. Well, maybe not yet. It's still trying to hold, but it's having a lot of problems trying to break back over 13. What's our volume? We're pretty light on volume on the INDO at the moment. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm going to hold right where I'm at. Ton of green just came through on the time and sells at that 1950 trying to hold as support. And what I think we're seeing here, let's see, let me go into a smaller time frame on oil. Yeah, we got a ton. There's support right here. This previous peak, that was resistance. So we got support right across 108 on the oil chart. Got a lot of support below us. I'm feeling all right in here. I don't mind this. Hussa just not rebounding quite as hard. And Hussa's actually down -4% on the day, where INDO is up 2.69. MARPS is up almost 5%, so it's just a very low volume play at the moment because it is not a stock. It is a trust. But if oil starts moving, we could see that trust start to popping like we did last time. You know, it's been what, a couple of months since we had that hot oil run. It's about time for another one. But I may be off on the timing of this. We'll see. It's just hard to pass up that buy right on that support on INDO, where oil is holding support as well. In any case, I only have 10 shares now, right now at 1980. So I can risk $1, which would be 1880, which it hasn't even hit that low today. So if it does hit that low, then this play is over with for at least a short time this morning. But I'm looking for this to rebound. I think we're going to rebound and retest 20. BTNR, BTTX coming back up right now for a possible test of $3. Keep an eye on that. Of course, you draw your channel, your little trend line there, and we're a little bit ways away where we're at now from, oops, stop that. You stop that right now. There we go. From what are you doing? All right. Okay. Okay. All right, Thinkorswim. I got something for you. If you don't want to write right, then I got something for you. Got my little pen app. Where you at, pen? There you go. Love this thing. So yeah, from here, here, here. So if it can hold up, we could get another pop up to, maybe 315 or something. But about when this would be jumping, we're getting further and further away from that pre-market. Whoops. Pre-market low there. See what happens, if it's too overextended or not. Yellow line off there, move my pen to the side. Oh, wait a minute, that closed them? Oh, it did close them. Nice. I can just do like that. Love this little pen app thing I've got. All right, INDO pulling back a little. Ooh, oil's starting to drop down to 107. Down to 1756. So IND, we're really starting to drop hard on the oil here. Oh no, we're just right at this support level. Now, if it cracks that support level at 1750 on this 15-minute chart, that's not good. Do we have the 200-day right at 106 on the 15-minute? This may be a little bit more, maybe a little bit more people locking in some profits from that initial run. That was a $3.50 run from pre-market right here. NQ close to cracking 12.9. Ooh boy, that does not look good on the NQ at all. The more time it's going by, the worse. And I think we may see another big pullback coming in the next 30 minutes. It is really struggling to hold. That may not be good. Can you hold, IND? You are real close to trying to crack. God, that line is really crooked. Let's get rid of that crooked line. It's driving me nuts. See, 19. That's where my bottom is. I don't know if I'm going to add to this or not yet. It's still quite a bit sketchy. All right, oil. How much more do you got to go down? Boy, oil is still pulling. Let me blow this up. Oil's got to hold this 200-day. Let's see. That's on the 15 right now. Put it in the hour. strong support at 105, which we knew. HYMC still climbing up that trend line. That could become a possible play there. I'm going to go ahead and grab just 50 of HYMC right here above this trend line. That puts me at 165. I'm just going to put a stop loss like 149 there, right below 150. If that trend line cracks, but HYMC holding up so far. I may even hold HYMC into tomorrow. I may swing it. You know, said I wasn't going to swing anymore, but this would be a short swing because in fact it's trying to break that 200. Oh boy, INDO starting to crack here. I may have to hop out. Let me see. What is the whole daily chart of IND? Now look that. Actually, as long as oil is bouncing off of this 50-day at 107, then we're fine. Let's see on the 1 hour INDO. Yeah, on the 1 hour, it's right at 1885 is the 50-day. Oops. See, we're at 10-day was trying to cross the 200, so that's what I'm looking for today on this. I'm looking for this to move back up and go bullish, start breaking 20. But it may be a while. Yeah, I ain't worried about HYMC right now. As long as it's in this channel. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look at that. The NQ is dying. Rejection off of 1300. We just hit a lower low of day, so this market is going to get red and red. Well, it's already red. But at this point, we've got room to... Oh, that's the last little bit of support there at 1283 before we drop down to 12.7. But we are clearly going to drop here on this 15-minute dojiing out on the resistance line, the support 13,000. When it's been support, been now acting as resistance. So getting a hard rejection. This thing's starting to dump a little bit. Could dump more than likely. God bless. I saw the chart earlier, but I just looking at this volume on the NQ and all this red volume. Nobody's buying the NQ. Nobody's long today. Everybody's selling. After the Fed's miraculous half-point rate hike. Now, if you caught my video yesterday about true inflation's around 15-16%. It's not looking good out here. Not looking good at all. But all these markets. Let's see, where did you go, Trading View? Don't you just disappear? Yeah, everything is red now. Everything is red on my market watch except for, you ready for this? There's a couple of, well, Inflation is green. It's 7, up 8%. The dollar strengthening again, which is not right. That's part of the stagflation. For now, we probably hit hyperinflation once they reverse course and go back to zero interest rates. But PKT cash. I've been talking nonstop about it. Only thing green today on my market watch. PKT is outperforming the NASDAQ. But PKT did have a nice spike yesterday, and he hit this big buying volume bar. PKT ran all the way up over a penny. All right, well, yeah, looks like the market's dying off here. GG's, good game. It was fun while it lasted. What's up, GD? I don't know if I saw your comment in there earlier. Come on down, because I believe if the market's going to crash here, then oil's trying to get bought back up over that 107. INDO still holding that 19 area. Boy, this is sketchy trading in this market. The volatility is so crazy in all the markets. There we go. Oil's starting to hold back over 107, so it does look like oil is waiting, or oil investors are waiting to make sure that the market is going to die here. Ugh. What a nasty drop today. Every bit of those gains from yesterday dropped, which I didn't understand yesterday why everything rebounded this much after Jerome Powell's speech. I was like, the market should be crashing more right now, not going up. So that was just a little short-lived, I don't even know what to call it. Just a little short-lived bounce, I guess, off of optimism for maybe things are going to turn around, or maybe optimism that the feds will actually be able to control inflation, which is a joke. They haven't controlled it yet. All right, anyway, let's get back over here. Ooh, INDIO. Getting real close to me having to jump out. Wait a minute. Let me see something. Is the NQ pulling oil back? Let's see on this 15-minute. Ooh. No, the NASDAQ is... It does look the same, but there's a big difference between where oil is at and where NASDAQ is at. Because oil's support it's testing is on an uptrend where it's been bullish, and the NASDAQ's testing support on a downtrend, the final support before a possible big nasty. Yeah, I like the way HYMC is looking. Oh, INDO, what are you doing here? Okay, I'm gonna go back. Let me check. Yeah, we got plenty of support where we're at. Draw that trend line. That uptrend's about right there, I would say. So we have cracked it. Alright, oil's trying to hold. Yikes. Oh yeah, we're dumping lower. That next candle just opened up. And we are coming down some more on the NQ. Oh, we were really coming down. Ooh, oil needs to turn around. Oil is seemingly like it's getting yanked down by the NQ too. We're down 5% on the NASDAQ. If it keeps dumping and we drop below 12.7, well, actually, I would say if it keeps dumping and we get down to 12.5 and it cracks 12.5, that would be, yeah, that would be almost 10% down. So I think it's 15% when they can halt the overall market. So we're a third of the way there at the moment from a possible overall market halt today, which would signal very, 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 very ugly, ugly things. Ugh. NQ just cracked 12.8. It's trying to hold 12.8 as some support, but really felling, struggling hard. Let's see. Zern Water Solutions declare quarterly cash dividend. Don't know what that is. Let's see its top energy news of the day. Okay. Oil rises as European nears Russia oil ban. Oil futures extend with the European. Yeah. Go ahead and ban it. Go ahead and ban the Russian imports of oil in Europe. Natural gas remained lower after weekly EIA storage report that came in a bit bearish compared to forecast. Shell's foggy outlook sways investors but not politicians. Record profits have raised the risk of a UK windfall tax, even though investors don't expect good times to last. OPEC sticks to production plan as high oil prices boost economies. I don't know about that. If everybody's paying $5 a gallon in gas, I don't know how that's going to boost economies. Ugh, God, man, how are you OPEC and put out something that stupid? That's the thing that's like driving me nuts this last few months. Is like the people in charge are putting out stuff that is so damn stupid, it's unbelievable. And I know they cannot be this stupid, so they are playing games with us. Playing games with everybody, because that does not make a bit of sense. How would high oil prices boost economies? I tell you what it is. It's a Keynesian economic outview. It's again, if oil prices are high, then we can sit there and make a lot more money to tax and pay off the government debts and all of that. Problem being is Keynesian economics always looks at the top and not the bottom first. A lot of economists love to argue macroeconomics and pretend that microeconomics are not the same whatsoever. They are exactly the same. It's just a bigger amount of money being moved in and out. That's it. So when they say things like this, if every individual in the economy can't afford gas and your trucks that's moving all the supplies around is their expenses are 3 times as much because the gas prices are so high, that's not going to boost economies. On the individual level, high oil prices in a time where everybody's already having problems, struggling because of all the nonsense and the lockdowns that shut down businesses and all that. These high oil prices are not going to boost economies. That is just pure ignorance. It makes no damn sense. Anyway, I'm going to stop reading the news before I get real crazy. Because I guarantee I didn't watch Jerome Powell's speech. I didn't need to because they told us ahead of time they were raising a half a point. And as I said, their attack on inflation is basically them being a poodle going against a T-Rex right now. So yeah, a little nibble with a half point raise, which they make it sound like it's such a huge raise. A half point raise, the largest since 2000. In 2000, we did not have above 10% inflation. So this is not comparable. Anyway. Alright, HYMC still holding up there, not looking too bad. INDO trying to hang in there with oil. Oil trying to hold that 107. So I'm gonna just hold where I'm at. I ain't trying to make any crazy quick moves. Okay, so NQ did start rebounding. So the oil. Well, I don't want to say rebounding. The NQ is getting a little bit of buying after this selling, but we just hit a new low. Let's see. Oh, sorry about that, Jeffrey. I did not see your question. Well, a bear market, there's not really a perfect amount of time you can say for a bear market. There's no set time. You could look through past chart history of the NASDAQ or the SPY or anything that shows the overall movements of the stock market, and you can calculate some ideas, but the whole history the whole history of the U.S. stock market, we have never been in this bad a shape. So this bear market that we could be going into could last years. Just is all not good. All right, and I've been saying this for a while, for 3 years since I've been on YouTube, that this is what was going to happen, and we are here, and it is happening. The part that's bothered me the most is it's happening quicker than what I was predicting and expecting it to happen, which is really scary. Like I said, the fact that we're kind of in this stagflation period right now, where manufacturers and all that, the GDP just shrunk Q1, and then we've also got high inflation while they're trying to raise the interest rates, while we also have bond yields and treasury yields not worth a damn, and they're starting to rise a little bit, but still nothing. And all of this together, it's not looking good. And then, of course, 30 trillion something in debt for the U.S. government. We got to pay that debt back. So these other countries are already noticing that we are not going to be able to pay this debt back. They've already started shrinking their U.S. dollar holdings in their central banks. Israel is one of the first to start decreasing their U.S. dollar holdings by about 5% and adding the Chinese digital yuan. So no point in stock market history, for the U.S. stock market anyway, have we been in a situation like this? No, at no point. So there's no really telling how long the bear market could last. If the U.S. dollar continues to, well, right now it's strengthening. So that's the part that's really crazy. The U.S. dollar is trying to strengthen while we're at 10% above inflation, and that doesn't make sense either. It's just we're just in a nonsense bucket of hell of economics right now with bad policies that range back basically all the way to the 1920s when they first put in the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Central Bank. So this crash is 100-something years in the making. So I don't know how. Well, actually, about 100 years in the making, exactly. 1920, we're like 2 years over. So we should have crashed harder in 2008. I'll show you what I mean here. Make sure INDO isn't dying on me. No, it's still all right. One life. What was I showing? I got distracted by One Life's special comment. So proud of himself. Let's see. What was I looking at? I was talking about. Oh, I know what I was looking for. I'm sorry. Here we go. Let me get back over here on TradingView. My brain glitched out for a minute. Market Watch. God, I got to get this the rest of the way organized. So, where are you at, NQ? There you go. There's our little head and shoulders we were talking about yesterday. Continuing down that arm, it looks like. But when you scroll back on the NQ futures, and you can see all these crashes that I have marked out, supposed crashes. This was the COVID dip right here. Everybody's like, oh, this is a crash. That's nothing. That is nothing. The COVID dip is nothing on this overall chart. So, right after the dot-com crash, when we dropped pretty far down there, they started doing, a few little things, policy changes, some light QE, and then in 2007, they started loaning out money real crazy again, and everybody had multiple houses and all kinds of nonsense that they couldn't afford. Housing dip comes in. Well, not only that, they took the Vanguard or whoever was in control of everybody's 401ks, basically all got together, took all those mortgages people were buying that they couldn't afford, and then stuck them back in everybody's 401k. So people were paying for the same house twice, because if your money is going out of your 401k or out of your check and going into your 401k, and in the 401k it's going into your mortgage, the loan that the bank took and sold to an investor, you're basically buying two houses. You add amortized interest on it, and you're buying three houses for the price of one. So that caused all these problems here. And then this should have, in 2008 when we crashed, we should have crashed way harder. This was a dot-com crash and we stopped there. But this 2008 dip was barely any. it was like a third of this 2000 dot com crash. And the reason for that is because the Federal Reserve started chunking QE up, money printing nonstop from 2008 on. We had this repo market right before 2020 where the repo market went upside down. It's like 2019 towards the end of the year. Move that arrow. You can see this little dip. Some people noticed it, but not a lot. It did cause the market to drop some, but it was completely covered up. And the reason why it was covered up, it flipped. The whole market flipped in 2019 at December, and then January. What did we start getting? COVID talk, and then COVID dip happened. So the COVID dip actually covered up the repo market going upside down, and they were able to avoid this being a crash here. So COVID dip, same thing. That should have pricked this bubble. It did prick the bubble, but the feds came back in, dropped interest rates to zero, and started just pumping crazy money out and buying all the assets. So again, they've inflated us all the way up to here. So when the whole entire run from 2000 to now has been artificially made, and now the feds are up here at the top saying, we're selling all of the assets off of our balance sheet that we've been buying. They're offloading $96 billion. That was what Jerome Powell said yesterday. They're offloading another $96 billion in assets. And as I've been saying, who's going to buy above the feds at all-time market highs? Nobody. And that's why we continue to see the market come apart. Because at this point, the feds are stuck between a rock and a hard place. They cannot get out of this. Okay. So I have no idea how long this bear market could last. I mean, this bear market has been the bull market was artificially manufactured. So the bear market, I have no idea. What? Hold on a second. All right. Sorry, guys. This Wisconsin weather is as volatile as the markets. So it is messing with my allergies bad. It was 30 degrees. Well, actually, it was 60. It was like 30 degrees in the morning yesterday, 60 degrees by lunchtime, and then went back down to 30 by the end of the night. And this morning, so far, every time I've been outside today, it has been different temperatures. So, with it being spring in May, it's supposed to be spring, and all these flowers and stuff coming out with these temperature switches, man, it's just killing me. This whole year, I'm getting out of here. I'm moving back down south and getting out of this weather. By the time the end of this year. All right, where are we at? Oh, yeah. Okay, INDO still holding. How's the NQ looking? Okay, so NQ trying to come back up and test right now. Getting a bounce off of 12.8. HYMC still holding on that trend line. Oil trying to get back up there. Yeah, so I'm going to just have to be watching, keeping an eye on these plays, because at the moment everything is just kind of in limbo. Let's see if we got anything else popping up. BTTX, I did get that push up to 3, but rejected again. Trying to break 3, but struggling. CYN is making a nice little flag pattern here. If I can hold $4, pop up over $4.50 basically. We could see CYN try to run a 5. And JSCE. Oh yeah, let me go back into the hour chart. And still doesn't look too bad. I think this, I'm going to just keep an eye on this play, maybe for tomorrow. But I doubt I'm going to hold it for very long. Hudson Technologies. That thing has went on a tear the last 2 days, but it's pretty high up. $3 higher than it was yesterday. It's a little scary. All right, let's see here. We got a lot of comments. One night you love this weather, it makes you want to murder Mother Nature. Make volatility great again. Nice, Austin. Getting that SQQ, that inverse ETF. Did you get it at those highs yesterday on the NQ? Because that's what I was saying about those inverse ETFs. When you get an overextension like this, that's when you want to look at them inverse ETFs. I see you said you sold a little bit early, but I mean, still good play. Making some profits there. I am in 2 trades right now. I am in INDO, looking for it to rebound with oil, and then I'm in HYMC again because this thing came alive finally. Came up there for a test of 2 and is holding right in this channel. So I'm in there right on the trend line at 165. And those are the 2 plays that I'm in at the moment. Nice. You bought it at 252 yesterday, the SQQ, or you're saying 252 8? Oh yeah, like right before the market closed. Yeah, that's a pretty good buy because that's when the market was. So you bought it right in that spike. Yeah, you got it. You, you got it. Nice trade. Cause let's see, 252 would have been somewhere in here. So nice going against all of the grain of this dumb rebound yesterday that made no sense. HYMC is a little weak. Let's see, thinking if INDO gets back above this trend line. Yeah, you can see oil on the hour trying to hold that 50-day. I'm gonna add a couple shares here. See how far I can get that average down. Okay. So I got my average down to 1967 on 12 shares. So now I'm just barely above the trend line, barely above this pre-market resistance. I tried to hold a support here. I don't mind that at all. There. The only way the market's going to go back bullish at this point is with the Fed's reverse course. The Feds are offloading $96 billion over the next month, man. You know, like I've been saying, who's going to buy from the Feds? I don't think we're going to see a rebound. We've been rebounding and testing support and all that on the NASDAQ for a while now. You know, we're coming to the end of this consolidation of this downtrend, and we just dropped down very close to making another low. We make another lower low, which we were only, $100 away from there just a few minutes ago. Then this triangle is cracked, and this head and shoulders is going to continue down. It could possibly bounce, but at this point, the probability of bounces is becoming lower and lower as the days are going on, and inflation is still rising, and these BS quarter point rate hikes and 5% rate hikes. I don't think maybe like I said, maybe we get one more rebound possibly, and then the crash happens, but that's about it. Because at this point, I don't see any way that the economy is getting better. There we go. INDO back up to 1915. What? Yeah, it's not a bad idea to be sitting on the sideline. What are you talking about, One Life? How are you gonna... What are you talking about? No, I don't sound like a fortune teller. I'm showing you the exact places. I'm showing you the technical analysis behind it, and then all the economic analysis behind it. When you go into a trade, a simple day trade, you have your plan already planned out. You know, you make your plan with a prediction of a price target. If you have a price target in your trading plan, then you are doing the exact same thing that you're telling people not to do right now. It's just on a shorter time period. So, what are you talking about? The You contradicting your whole trading style right now by saying the statement you just said. And we really don't need to get in to the whole thing of who's been calling what for how long. I mean, at this point, that's a waste of time. Because y'all called me crazy for the past 2 years, and look at where we're at. There's no. Read the tape. The time and sales, there's not. What is the time and sales going to tell you on the NASDAQ? What tape? What is it? How are you going to try to strategize for a bullish or bearish market off of intraday time and sales for an entire economic exchange that is built into the entire economy of this country? I'm crazy because my timing is horrible? How is my timing horrible? Calling all this stuff 3 years in advance is great timing. You said that before. I'm not getting in an argument with you today over this nonsense. You're just trying to troll. I'm not even going to even start with you. Just mad because you said a statement and I called out the nonsense in that statement. Don't try to change. Don't try to make this into an argument. Defend the original statement that you made and then I called you out on. You're going way off basis. Stick to the plot. Your deflection and all that tactics ain't gonna work today. Alright, anyway, enough of that nonsense. DB, people are doing better than never before in history. When Bitcoin gets to 34, why are you so sure Bitcoin's going to 34,000? Bitcoin would have, let's see, 34, where's that at? Yeah, maybe it could come to 34, 35 again. Maybe. It could come down to 30,000, but Bitcoin's still bullish. Again, there's the difference in the charts. Comparing Bitcoin to the NQ, Bitcoin has been bullish um, this whole entire time. You know, even with the head and shoulders and the crash in the market, or the pullback in the market that's been going on, Bitcoin has been holding better than most everything else. Surprisingly, it's held better than Ethereum. It's down a little bit today, but There you go. You okay? One life. I'm gonna ask you this one question, and then I'm not going to go into this anymore. I'm not wasting people's time on arguing this nonsense with you. But I'm gonna ask you this one question. All right, and that's it. Would you say calling a small pullback after rate hikes going to, I mean, everybody and their mother knew that when the Feds was going to raise rates, the market was going to have a pullback. That was something I've been saying for 3 years. Once inflation gets high enough, the Feds are going to start trying to raise interest rates, and that is going to crash the market. You called it. You called it a month before on one little part. I have been saying that same thing for 3 years. You did not call anything special, and I'm not trying. This is why I didn't want to get into this, because I'm not trying to make it of a who called what and when. That's not the important thing. Who cares? The important thing is the market is crashing. How are we going to strategize and make more profits? You know, this nonsense of who called what or whatever. I mean, what does that do? Whose pocket does that put money in? Right? Nobody's. So save it. Just give up, man. There's no reason to even have this debate or argument. You're going to say the idea of saying you called something on a micro scale of the entire economic prediction that I've been making for 3 years that has become accurate. That's like saying, oh, it's like being on the side of a cliff or hanging off the side of a cliff with your hand on a twig, and you're going, the Feds raise rates, we're going down. We're going down. No, duh. The market's already crashing. You're hanging off the side of a cliff. That was not a hard prediction. That was the easiest prediction in the world. Everybody my mama said the same thing. Oh, when they raise interest rates, we're going to see the market pull back. You did not do anything special by calling one little micro thing, man. So calm it down. You're not an economic expert. You never have been. That's why you got smoked in our debate. Sit down or stop watching my channel. One of the two. Like, if you want to have a real discussion, we can have it. But you don't. Nothing you're saying makes any sense to anything. Oh, DB's trying to get into on the cryptos. Back to mania's dying. Okay. I'm not upset and crying. I'm laughing. Look at you. I'm not doing this. I am not doing this today. I am not doing this today. You called it right. You know what? You're right, One Life. You're 100% right. You called it. You're the best trader in the world. You know everything, man. You're amazing. You're so amazing, man. Congratulations. You want your fudge brownie badge for selling the most cookies for Girl Scouts now? Anyway, let me get off this nonsense. You trolls and always trying to get me fired up. I got bigger fish to fry. I'm trying to take out central banks and disrupt the trading education sector. I'm not arguing with you two little goldfish in this shark pond. Okay, so NQ is getting rejected off of this 12-9 area. So not even able to rebound over 3 or 13. So we may be having that pullback. Oil's my main concern though with being in INDO. That's looking a little sketchy on this 15-minute. We need to see this pop back over 107.58 here really soon, or oil's going to drop again. let's see. If oil does drop here, where is it going to drop exactly to? Ten-day is at 105. We could even pull back down to 100. NDO's got a rebound because it is looking very close. Let's blow this chart up real quick. There we go. Let's try to make sure my technical analysis is on point on this. So we got a bottom of 17 and the trend line's at 18. We got a ton of support below us. But I definitely don't want to hold it down $3 a share. The bottom of this is 18 because I'm down what, $1 a share right now. So we were gonna maybe rebound, but cracking below. Well, actually, no, we're okay still. We haven't cracked below the previous day low yet. So that low is right there at 18. Let's blow this up. 1839. So as long as we hold above 1839, I believe I'm going to continue to hold INDO for a little bit longer. God, HYMC starting to look the same too. Is gold pulling back? Yeah, this is definitely a sideline day because everything is just moving sideways at the moment. Let's pull back to the trading view. Woo, platinum's down. I'm glad I sold that platinum yesterday. See, what I want to see is the US dollar index. Where are we at here? Yeah, so the dollar very close to pushing up some more on the dollar index. But let's see, where are we at here? You can see every time in the past the dollar index has pushed up to a peak. That's usually when a crash comes pretty hard. You can see right there was 1980, around that area, right after Nixon finished off the dollar and the gold standard. And then, of course, the dollar ran up to 85. And then 1985 had that big pullback in values. I think late 80s was pretty high inflation times. Close or maybe above what we're at now. And then right there was the 2000, right before the dot-com bubble crash. That peaked there. And we came all the way back down. And then let's see, where's COVID? Or let's see, where's the housing market crash? Housing market right there. So you see, every single time we start to spike up on the dollar, we hit a point, and I don't know if we'll even get up to this. I don't think we'll see that. I think we're almost to that point. Even today, it's really struggling to push over 104. 105 is going to be major resistance for the dollar, hence why it's been held up. Actually, it's triple top. This is a weekly chart, triple top, 1, 2, and 3. So if the dollar breaks up, it could push a little higher. But the higher we get off, the 200-day and these support areas, the more likely we are fixing to have that drop down. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so nothing constructive out of the chat from the peanut gallery. Austin, you said part of that rate was baked in, but ultimately the sellout today was inevitable. Yeah, I mean, we knew that it was going to be a 0.5% rate hike for the last couple of weeks. That's why I didn't even watch the whole drone. Like we streamed here on the channel about Jerome Powell talking, or of him talking on the last rate hike thing, but he just keeps saying the same stuff over and over again. There's no new solutions. There's nothing. They're just going to continue to try to raise these little rate hikes until they have to reverse course. But yeah, I mean, it definitely was partly baked in. The problem is, last time we saw the rate hike happen, interest rates in the housing market 5%. So my biggest concern is if we see 30-year fixed mortgage interest rates pop up to 8-10%, housing market's going to crash. Nobody is going to be buying houses at these market highs with 10% mortgage rates on a 30-year. That's going to be insane. So, crazy. It's normal times, going off of the market baking things in, or calculating in future moves like the rate hikes, usually is not that big a deal. But things getting baked in now can be false, very false, right? Just like we saw on this big fake run yesterday. So it becomes a little bit trickier, just to say that, than just to say the price was baked in and stuff. I mean, like I said, you're right, but there's a lot more influences over the stock market at the moment than there normally is in normal times. Like, we have a ton of different things going on. So yeah, HYMC still holding 160. INDO still holding around that 19 area. I'm just going to continue to hold them for the rest of the day here. Well, maybe not the rest of the day, but probably about midday to see if they start to rebound. Oof. Boy, that 15-minute is looking worse and worse on the NQ. Let me go into the hour chart. This 15-minute candle is fixing to close. We'll give the stream another 10 minutes here. I want to see how this is going to close in this next 5 minutes, and how the next hour is going to open. Roaches in Taiwan are like Daniel B's books. Those are some big roaches then. Daniel B's got them ancient sea scrolls of trading that he refers to. Nah, you're right. You're absolutely wrong. One life about that. People are the only people who'll be buying property is cash buyers. It's going to be investors, cash buyers, and they're going to buy up everything and rent it out to everybody. We're going into a renter nation. Um, Again, you just have no idea what you're talking about. You, like you said, you're a day trader, so stick to that because you're you're grasping at straws when anytime you talk about economics. It's physically painful to see your uh, comments on economics. Physically, like it hurts my pinky. My right pinky and my left pinky toe both start hurting tremendously when I see you make a comment about anything to do with economics. Just stick to commentating on day trading. Like you said, you're a day trader, so stick to that. That's where your knowledge is going to be most valuable for traders. But outside of that, um, you're not even everything you're saying is just not even accurate information whatsoever. There's nothing that you could back that with. So so the housing market is not economics. Do you want to Thank you. Thank you for that one life. The housing market is not anything to do with economics. Boy, whew, I needed that laugh. That made me feel a lot better about today in this market. That was that was a good one. That was an act. That was a act. That was wow. Just incredible. Just pure. As I was saying what I was saying, as I was saying what I was saying, you go and say something that crazy, even crazier than what I was saying. No, what are you talking about? I'm the one who said nobody's going to buy houses because of rates higher. Who is going to buy houses at 10% interest rates for a 30-year fixed mortgage? Who? Are you going to do that? Go buy a house with a 10% fixed mortgage rate then. Go ahead. You let me know how that works out. Sure, you could possibly refinance, but when are you going to refinance? What if rates keep going up? If interest rates keep going up and your only option of refinance is higher interest rates, and besides that, refinancing a house that you live in, that you plan on paying off, anytime you refinance, you're starting over the loan, which means you're going to pay all the interest first again. So the way mortgages work and amortized interest works is you pay majority the first 15 years of a 30-year mortgage is all interest. So 10% interest for the first 15 years on a $200,000 house plus the little bit of principal payment that's going to go to it, your monthly payments are going to be insane. You're talking about $2,000, $3,000 a month for a monthly payment. Banks are not going to give people those loans. Like, your wife works at Quicken Loan. Call and ask her. Call and ask her with everybody over leveraged and high in debt and bad credit scores right now. If they're going, ask them how they're doing right now with their 5%. I can look at the charts. Let's pull up the chart. Here, let's just pull up the chart. You like to read the tape? Here you go. Let's read that tape. Let's read that tape of the real estate market. Let's have some fun here. Since since the housing market has nothing whatsoever to do with economics. Oh boy. Okay. Let me find this. Alright, let me take my drawings off of the man. Alright, One Life. There's your chart. There's your chart of the real estate index. We were at all-time highs, made a double top at 450. Nobody's going to buy houses up here with you might get some people, some dumb people, but they're going to foreclose on their house. So even if they do, they're going to be right back out of it, and then some cash buyer is going to come up and buy it as a foreclosure. That is the problem. That is what is going to happen. Is all with interest rates and all that so high, the real estate market is going to drop, and nobody has any cash to be buying up a ton of real estate except for investors, people who have been following, and know how to keep their money alive during these times. Not the precious metals. Where is it at? Where's my 30-year mortgage? I think that's it. Yeah. So right now we're at, let me just scroll this chart back. There's our mortgage rates. And we're down here real low during 2020. We have shot up over mortgage rates almost back to 2008 housing crash market levels. Going straight up. So if we look at just this year alone, there's 2020, let's see. Let's look at this year alone. Here's 2022. There's the beginning right there. And there's the beginning of 2022. This is what your housing market chart of the year so far. Downtrend. I already had it drew. Well, anyway, while interest rates are in an uptrend. Why is this? Because nobody is going to buy with rising interest rates like this. Nobody is going to take out a 30-year mortgage. Downtrend, uptrend. Interest rates looking to continue higher. Real estate market going to crash. And when it does, all that will be left is all the cash investors. Yeah, but how many people will qualify? That's what I want you to tell me. People were being qualified left and right at zero interest rates. But what you don't understand is the banks cannot afford to loan out money to anybody who is not qualified. And those qualifications have risen and tightened. Hence why the feds call it tightening. When they tighten the central bank, it tightens all the other banks, and the qualifications to get loans go up. They do not want to give you money right now. They want you to stop spending money. That is the whole point of what Jerome Powell is doing. By raising interest rates, you are trying to reverse inflation by getting people to stop spending all the money. You want them to save money so the US dollar can maintain value. That's the idea. That's what the feds are trying to do. But as I said, this is not sustainable, and they're going to reverse course. So we will see the market crash at a time when very little of the population has cash to actually buy houses or the credit score to be qualified to get a house. Once they buy up all that property that's left, then the feds will have to reverse course because the markets are going to be crashing. Everything's going to be crashing. We're seeing it already. And when they reverse course and go back to zero interest rates and start printing money, the housing market, the stock market, all that will be artificially inflated again. So all the cash buyers are not going to sell at the top this time when the feds reinflate everything, or at least attempt to. They're not going to buy them. They're not going to sell them at the top. Instead, they're going to rent them out to everybody. This is not opinion. You can go and look at these statistics of homeowners versus renters over the last 5 years. And you can even look further back than that. And the dynamic has been shifting to renters nonstop. And that is going to continue. Because nobody, like I said, nobody's going to buy. No regular person working a 40, 50-hour job, even if they're making $50,000 or $75,000 a year, they're not going to be able to afford a $3,000 a month mortgage payment. So there's already a shortage of houses. There's a shortage of supplies to build houses because of inflation. Wood prices are skyrocketed. All these different other commodities and resources that it takes to build houses are super high. So it's expensive to even build a house. It's expensive to even fix up a house right now. And once the final air comes out after the last artificial bull run that we might possibly have when the Feds reverse course, that's going once that crashes, then nobody at all is really going to have houses in America. America will be a completely, there'll still be people who own houses. I'm not talking like zero people are going to own houses. But you're going to see a majority of the population, and it may already be true. Let's just find out. Let's see. U.S. population. Owners versus renters. Okay, so owner-occupied housing units made up 58% of total housing units, while renter-occupied units made up 30.9%. I want to see this on a chart, though. See if I can find a 10-year chart. Somebody surely had to put this on a chart. See what that says. Year over year in nationwide renter and owner population. So, housing, wow, this is actually sad. That's only to 2016. That ain't giving me, I need to see what's happening now. 2015, I don't want to see these 2015 articles. There we go. Hold on, this is a decent one. Still not quite to 2020, but close. Oh, well, to 2020, that is close enough. Home ownership rate since 1965. So, of course, the population has grown. Housing market has grown. New houses have been built constantly since 1980 to in the 2000s. So, that we had that growth there until 1980. If you remember that date, 1980s, where the US dollar had spiked, and then we had a crash right after. 1995, 2008, into here, look at that. Big spike in homeownership rate, followed by that big drop, because when the economy does this, people are not buying houses, they are selling. That's why it becomes a seller's market in the real estate market. We've been in a buying market for a long time. You can see back here, after we finally started rebounding, home ownership rates have went back up, and we're starting to spike at the same time as the US dollar, everything we just looked at earlier. And every time we spike, we come back down. So this spike, you can see we haven't spiked up. In 2020, we didn't even get all the way to the highs of home ownership. The highs was 70%. 2020, we're at 65%, but we just looked and it said we're actually at 56%. Remember? Let's go right back here. Press back right here. 58% in 2022. So we've dipped already in 2022 by about 3%. And that means the renter occupied units are coming up. First off, Will Knife, there's a difference between qualifying and actually getting approved. Everybody gets offers in the mail that says you're pre-qualified for credit cards and housing mortgages and refinance. You get that all the time. Everybody's pre-qualified. Nothing matters until you're actually approved and get pre-approval. And then even if you do get pre-approved, you still have to go through the whole closing process, and things can come awry or things can change, and it takes 3 months, and that whole mortgage process can go out the window, or the rates can rise, whatever else. So for you don't even, Jesus, come on, man. What about the NQ? The NQ's doing nothing. It's just going sideways right now. It's still getting rejected. But, alright guys, I'm going to call it a day here. HYMC is starting to bounce up. Just put a little high up over that previous little high on our little consolidation here. This little small consolidation channel. We'll see HYMC continue to try to break over 175. Let's check on oil. Yeah, trying to look at that. Let's see. Oil trying to get back above that support, getting rejected at the moment, but did throw a wick up back above there while I was talking. Wow. Angry one life. Trying to diss me. All the disses. Alright guys, well, I'm going to call it a day. I'll let you guys know how these trades go in the Discord. We'll be back live here in a little bit on the crypto channel for some P2E gaming streams, both on Twitch and YouTube. So be sure to come check that out if you're interested in the PTE gaming and blockchain things that are going on in the world. Yeah, I like the way HYMC is looking here. INDO I'm still not sure on, but HYMC is trying to hold. I don't know. I really don't want to swing anything, Lori. I do not really want to hold anything overnight that I am not bullish on long term. So I am bullish on gold. Oil, I'm bullish on oil because I mean it's showing it's bullish. But just the volatility in all these markets, just like looking at the NQ yesterday where we had this huge spike and then this morning this huge sell off. Like I don't want to swing with this type of crazy volatility. So more than likely I'm not going to hold INDO or HYMC today. And if they crack lower, if INDO starts coming to where it's over too far over $1 loss per share, then I'll get out of it. So I just day to day swinging tricky. It's a little tricky right now with these markets being so volatile. Because I don't want to get stuck in a play where it if INDO, say oil just goes sideways the rest of the day and then INDO has a pullback and it happens to crack and it goes down to 1650, but then oil skyrockets, or it cracks down to 1650 tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, I got to get out of here. I'm down, quite a bit. And then all of a sudden oil comes back up and spikes later. There's just so many things that can happen when it comes to trading any stocks that are directly related to a sector that is as volatile as oil at the moment. And then, of course, just stocks in general because of the NQ is so volatile. It's just, I don't know. It feels too risky right now to be swinging for me. That's just my personal opinion. My personal analysis and strategy, because I've been doing some swinging the last couple of weeks, but a lot of them didn't work out that well. I didn't take any major losses, but I haven't made any major gains either. So I'm trying to get back to just focusing on day trades. If this market will give us some, if Austin is correct about the market trading sideways for the next couple of weeks, we could have some days where we just don't have any stocks moving up whatsoever. Or if they are, they're quick little pops and they come right back down. This is the time where the most important thing is to try to survive through this volatility. But if you can strategize enough and hit the places, like oil possibly, that has been down from that previous peak, and that would make sense for oil. Oh, that's gold. Oil to try to rip back up to 110. But intraday, the trades are just, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to swing right now. I'm trying not to swing the best as much as I can. I mean, Lori, you've been swinging and doing good. So, your swing strategy versus my swing strategy, I would say yours is better. So, if you think, if it's the same type of setup and all that, and you think that there's some potential, don't let me stop you. I'm just giving you my thoughts. Me personally, my own personal analysis of my own swing trading, I'm just saying it's not been working for me, so I'm not going to continue to do it if it's not working right. I'll wait till it feels like a good swing trading market, but for me, it's not working out very well. So I just want to stick to these intraday trades for the most part. Oh, no. HYMC might get a public offering. Maybe. But I don't know about that. If they were to get a public offering, and that dropped the price. We know Eric Sprott is buying HYMC. He's already bought a good position of HYMC. So I don't know if a common offering would even affect this play. I thought it already had a common offering. Yeah, they did. They had registration. Let's see. Or is this new? That was in April. They did a registration. Let me just pull up, what's it called? BAM SEC and just see what they've got going on. Eric Sprott is also the same person buying up all the uranium in his uranium fund that HH has been talking about. Okay, so what was this ticker? Damn, what was the ticker we were talking about? Oh, HYMC, that's right. There we go. As a recent S1, let's see, financials, that was their earnings, registrations, initial registration of new securities on April 14th. So, hold a corporation. Non-accelerated filer. The registrant statement in Form S1, blah, 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 and declared effective on July 22nd, 2020. What? Oh, never mind. That's about the never mind. That's not about this. Okay. Let's see. The issuance of up to 30... Wait a minute. Hold on a second. 4/14/22. Mission in the preliminary prospect is not complete and may be changed. These securities may not be sold until registration statement filed with the Security Exchange Commission is effective. This prospectus is not an offer to sell these securities and is not a soliciting offer to buy these securities in any jurisdiction. So at the moment, it seems they don't have an official, let's see right here, prospects also ways to offer and sell from time to time by selling security holders identified, permitted transferees up to 71 million shares of common stock and up to 60 million warrants to purchase shares of common stock, including the private placement warrants. October 22 warrants and new warrants. Let's see. Prospectus summary. Oh, that's not what I wanted. 22 private placement, March 14th, 2022. That is the agreement with AMC and Eric Sprott. Let's see, how much did Sprott actually buy? Agreed to sell the purchase private placement, $46 million at $1.19. The new warrants issued in the 22 private placement have an exercise price of $1.06 per warrant share and will expire 5 years after issuance. So Sprott and AMC bought a total of 46 million shares and warrants that they have 5 years to enact. Let's see. So AMC let's see. The company agreed to support such directors' nomination so long as AMC retains at least 50% of the common stock purchase under the subscription agreement with AMC. So AMC will lose their voting power if they were to sell and dump their shares of HYMC. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to see. Okay, November 10th, 2021, the company entered a waiver with Sprott Private Resources Lending to, oh boy, of certain provisions of Sprott credit agreement effective. Pursuant to the number 21, the lender permitted the company to cease active mining operations or reduce the amount of unrestricted cash to be maintained by the company from not less than $10 million to not less than $9 million for the pending period pending ending in May 10th. So, Sprott has been bankrolling HYMC before he bought this big position. He has been loaning them money. And now Sprott has bought a whole bunch of shares into the company with AMC. So, the company owes him money, and he owns part of the company. Yeah, their main lender is Sprott. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with HYMC. I'm not too worried about that shelf registration, especially the way they're talking like it's probably not gonna be anytime soon, and the fact that Eric Sprott is buying the dip while also financing the company. So, pretty wild. I did not know that. That's some new information. I had no idea Sprott was funding this company. That makes me more interested in HYMC, not less interested. If you don't know much about the precious metals market, I highly recommend you go do some research on Eric Sprott. He has tons of investment funds. He's been the one buying up tons of physical uranium as a physical uranium fund. That's, let's see, I'm pretty sure I can just put in Sprott and you'll see all the different funds he has. Yeah, so Sprott Resource Corp, Sprott Physical Silver Trust, Sprott Physical Gold Trust, Sprott Uranium Miners ETF, Sprott Physical Gold and Silver, Sprott Inc., Sprott Uranium Physical Trust, another one, ETF Sprott Gold Miners, and then Sprott ETF Junior Gold Miners. And I guarantee HYMC has got to be in this fund. Let's go see here if it'll tell me. Nope, doesn't want to tell me. So I could Google it. Let's just Google it real quick. What is in Sprott ETF Junior Gold Miners? See, this index aims to track performance of small capitalization. Yeah. It's the junior gold stocks. Here we go. Oh, you can just go to SprottETFs.com. You can find all of them. So, who do we got in here? Ticker, ETF details, SGDJ. Oh, no, that is the ETF. Okay, hold on. There's only 3.5 million shares outstanding of this fund. And there's 38 different stocks in this fund. Oh, here we go. No, these are the performances. And you can see overall Sprott for 5 years on his indexes have performed way better than the S&P 500. Here we go. Portfolio diagnosis. So we got a ton in Canada, a ton in Australia. Whew. Very little in the United States. Wonder why. That Sprott is barely holding any United States stocks in his funds. 2.5%. The majority is in Canada and Australia. It's not in the U.S. Okay. Here we go. So we got Pan African Resources, Orlea Mello. Where you at? Where's Highcraft? Why is this not in any alphabetical order? As of 05/4/20. Interesting. So they don't have HYMC in this fund. Huh. Huh. Well, that's strange. Now I don't know what to think about it. Says May 4th. Yeah, that was yesterday. They updated it, so they're not, unless maybe Sprott's plan is he's expecting a dip in gold, more of a dip in gold and silver, which is possible. And they've put all those warrants and shares out there for Sprott to buy up to put HYMC in his junior miner fund. Because if he's willing to bankroll HYMC, and then we know HYMC is pulling gold and silver out of the ground, you know, it's not like it's a junior miner who hasn't started mining. They're pulling out thousands of ounces, so they're pulling money out of the ground. So he must be, that may be what it is. He may be getting ready to put this. And that could be the big headline on this. If Sprott comes out and says HYMC is getting added to the Sprott ETF miner, a lot of precious metals investors may get gung-ho with HYMC. But this could be, you know, over the next couple of months. We just don't know. But yeah, if you don't know much about precious metals besides the content that I cover, Eric Sprott is the precious metals guy in the entire world for gold, silver, and all that. His funds are pretty good, actually. Okay. I'm going to call it a day, guys. Appreciate everybody joining me, as always. If you haven't yet, go check out frameworkfortune.com. Guys, stay safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Till next time.
This is war with the enemy. Think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally.